It wouldn't be a Halloween without a special edition of Sportswire Radio tonight. And boy, did it live up to everything it was supposed to be in that Devil's Playground, the Backyard Brawl. But we'll find out tonight, in case you haven't seen it. Was the nail in the coffin put in the careers of Shawn Jovi, the one-time America's resident rock star, now just the resident cat dad and rock star? And what about the career of Nicholas Crenson? What about the careers of some others? We'll talk about that. Plus, what about those guys in STBW? Those trampoliners, those new kids on the block, those young whippersnappers, the youths of the backyard. Did they certainly live up to expectations? We're going to find out. Plus, it is Halloween after all. So maybe, just maybe, we'll have our own surprise of a trick or treat when it comes to some different people coming on tonight's show. And we'll see if maybe you'll see some other things for next season for those that won that historic battle between two companies in the Midwest that, let's just say, had a backyard brawl that was one for the ages. And we have a lot to talk about tonight. And some would say Halloween hasn't started without Sportswire Radio. So I'm going to give our guests two men that helped build this platform and helped build the All Wrestling Matters movement. In prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage, that introduction that they deserve. Because after all, even though they might be dinosaurs, something tells me that their careers are certainly going to be continuing and continuing for as long as they want to. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's start off Halloween night here in style on Sportswire Radio and give our guest that introduction that they deserve. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get right to it tonight. So with without further ado, here in the Sports Report, number one, Global Sports Show. Two men that definitely kept the faith. Two men that definitely didn't need to live on a prayer. Two men that definitely are on a lost highway. Two men that are no longer slippery when wet. Cornerstones of a company that helped build the All Wrestling. Their names are the Psycho Wolf. Nicholas Crenson, and accompanied by his cat, the resident cannibal, Fozzie, the resident rockstar, Shawn. Fellas, how are we doing?
Wonderful. Better now
Well,
that
I'm
I'm
happy
here.
to hear that, especially after what I just saw from you guys. Boy, you definitely went through, let's just say, a Devil's Playground in a backyard brawl. So how you feeling right now, both of you?
A little sore, a little banged up. Nothing unusual. Another day at the office, you know?
Another day in the office there.
A little
Yeah, just-
sore, sprained ribs, but yeah.
Spring ribs,
line of
just a
work.
usual day. I had some ribs before we went on the air, but my ribs weren't injured. But the good news is that you guys are here live on a platform you helped build, a platform that you helped reach so many people. And I guess then maybe we'll talk about it and I guess spoil the outcome. So much for dinosaurs being extinct and nails in the coffin to yours and a few other your colleagues' careers in Appleton, Wisconsin, huh?
Well, if we were dinosaurs, we sure went raw, all right. We destroyed them, man.
Heck yeah. And
I don't know if I go that far that you destroyed those.
I mean, I destroyed Nolan.
We put them to the test, is what I would say. And honestly, I think they did wonderfully at that test, especially, I'm going to give credit where credit's due. Mm-hmm. Honestly, out of everybody that came up, the one that impressed me the most was Peyton the Peacemaker.
Oh, my goodness. He looks like he's ready to go right now in a ring, and he's got a future. I could see him being in the indies or the pros. I mean, just what a look he had. When he moved around in the ring. I mean, are we sure he hadn't been in a ring before?
I was honestly thinking the same thing. Like some of the guys, you can tell they're new to the ring. They haven't been in the ring yet. You can tell clearly, but that guy just seemed comfortable right off the bat.
Well, Tyler Fury, you guys know from obviously working with him in the IMF. So I knew he had been in the ring. We've had Tyler on here before. This whole fight between you guys in the Midwest happened. But I think to me, Peyton was the one. I mean, I don't know how was he just like given a talent or just, I don't know. I just did not expect that at all.
Definitely the breakout star of the show.
I might even talk to management about this, but I almost want to really put this kid to the test next season. And, an idea that's floating around my head is maybe we put him up against each of the pillars at the start of next season in individual matches and see just how good this kid is. And who knows, maybe
I think he's ready right now. I mean, what he did in the ring, and we saw that in the tag match. We saw that in the elimination match. I mean, this guy, he can go. I mean, I knew Nolan Money McDermott could talk. I knew Tyler Fury could talk. And I knew Tyler Fury could back up what he could do in the ring because I've seen him in the IMF. But that was the guy, in terms of what he brought to the table, that really struck me most. Maybe these guys, you know what? All that talking they did on Sportswire for all those weeks, they came in. I said it in the chat tonight. They were motivated. They had something to prove. And they showed tonight that they belong with you guys. They're no longer trampoliners. They're no longer the youth of the backyard. They're no longer the future. Gentlemen, you may have won. You may have won the battle, but the war is far from over. And they're the ones really at the end of the day that showed they're the present.
I mean, yeah. And like what happened after the show, we offered them contracts. Why? Not because we felt bad for them. Not because we stomped our asses and want to continue to do so. No. These guys have great potential. They're all great, talented individuals. And for those guys who have never been in a ring, I mean, Fury has, but everyone else, they're just getting their feet wet. And I love to see them continue to grow as performers, as professionals. And I think us providing those contracts is the first step to helping them get to where they need to be and be where they want to be. I mean, they're on our level now, but I want to see them grow further, just like we want to grow further in our careers, You
want to say something, Nicholas, on that?
Yes. Honestly, like they had you hit the nail on the coffin there. Pun intended. Tom, like they came in with something to prove. And yes, for some of them, this was the first time getting their feet wet in a wrestling ring. And some of them, surprisingly, almost felt like they've been doing this all their life. At the end of the day, competition breeds better shows, better matches, better environments. And that is the big win here for WCE, because these kids came in and they showed us what they got. They impressed us. Yes, we won at the end of the day, but they brought the fight to us like never before. And bringing them in was, honestly, it was the obvious answer, because we just added 1, 2, 3, 4 more people to our roster for season 4. And that's going to make things. Wait, season 4 is 5.
Let me ask you guys this question. And I know you guys are veterans. Jovi, you were in the GBYWN. That goes without saying. We've seen what you guys have done being a part of Summer Bash and obviously in the IMF. But what we just saw tonight, and this is the YouTube page, by the way, where you need to go out and support WCE. Go out there and go hit a sub for me and go watch the show. But have you guys ever been a part of something where it was a contrast, where it's trampoliners versus veterans like yourself? I mean, have you guys been a part of a show like this before in your careers?
I haven't. I mean, I went from you got to remember, Tom, I went from a trampoline to a ring pretty much too. That's pretty much how I transitioned through the base and all that stuff. So I kind of put myself in their shoes. They're in the same position I was in, I don't know, like 15 years ago. That's the position they were in. So I can see clearly that they didn't know what they were getting into, but they were damn near excited and wanting to get in there and try it out for themselves, and they did. And guess what happened? They were successful. They didn't win per se, but in the end, like I said in that promo, there is victory in defeat. And these guys,
I think there was no question about that. I mean,
they have nothing to be ashamed of for losing. I think we barely survived ourselves. It was a one for the ages, a backyard brawl, as you say yourself.
And it lived. I'm going to say it lived up to it and some. There was a big turnout tonight in the chat. A lot of people were there. A lot of people were watching, checking in, and I think really this was something we haven't seen before. We had trampoliners, essentially trampoliners. There has been this whole talk in the backyard of the underground wrestling circuit about trampoline wrestlers. Can they hang with veterans like yourself who have been in the ring, who have been in there with some of the very biggest, who have been on the biggest stage, the brightest stage, as a matter of fact, that built this platform and this movement? And they came in, and not only did they show that they can hang for themselves, but in many ways, I felt that STBW, they represented a lot of the other trampoliners that come on this platform and maybe don't get the respect and maybe don't get the credit that they deserve. And they proved a lot of people that, you know what? Trampoline wrestlers can hang with you guys, and they're here. And I think many of those other wrestlers are going to be here for a long time, undoubtedly.
Agreed. 100%, man. Those guys, they have talent, they have heart, they have everything you need to build a wrestler out of nothing. And I think it's phenomenal that these young guys are at the talent they're at. I mean, when I was their age, I wish I was as talented as they were now. I wasn't even close. I'll give them that at least.
Well, you're here now, and, it doesn't matter, how talented you are, but they made it, and they gave you guys a hell of a battle. And, Shawn, Jovi, you were targeted first, by the way, in this match, to start things off. You were in a match with Nolan Money McDermott, the STBW undisputed champion, and to kick the entire show off. And you had been on, basically, as I coined, the slide of Jovi. I mean, you went into it before.
Yeah.
You've obviously you've not had the last few months that we saw last year going into the middle part of this year. This was a big match. A lot was on the line, and Nolan Money McDermott gave you everything but the kitchen sink.
He did. And he did put a lot of money on the table, so to say. He whipped out everything he had in his arsenal. I did the same. But at the end of the day, I just took advantage and won. He couldn't stand a chance. Like, I give him credit, and I don't know. Like I said It wasn't about the title. I know this match was originally scheduled to be a title match. I didn't want a chance at it. Not because I don't deserve it, not because I should be a champion again. It's because it's not about a title. This wasn't about a title at all. This is about defending companies. Now, say at the beginning of next year, maybe I'm owed a title shot for beating Nolan. I'm not going to argue then. But until then, I just think it was great. He's got a big mouth.
But I got a
respect
question
it.
for you on that. Now, you just said something interesting as we're watching the opening to the Devil's Playground, the Backyard Brawl here on Sportswire Radio. But if you wanted that title shot next year, is that title shot going to take place in a ring or on a trampoline in Kewanee, Illinois, good sir?
I mean, never say never, but I think I break the weight limit for a trampoline. So I was at the weight limit for a trampoline when I was 19 years old. Okay. I am 100 pounds more than what I was back then. So I don't see me in a trampoline mixing as well as it used to. But if he wants to do it in a ring, I'm totally down anytime.
So you would, in a ring next year in Appleton, in WCE, maybe you want to crack at that STBW Undisputed Championship. After all, you guys were saying different names about STBW, but now you can spell it. You can definitely spell the name STBW.
Yeah, STBW.
No more typos.
And you know what? And it's spelled small town backyard wrestling, and these guys came to play, and they showed that, you know what? They belong in prime time. They belong on the brightest lights in the biggest stage. And they showed that they definitely deserve to be here. And we're watching a little bit of the match here, and you might have a surprise, gentlemen, in about 15 or so minutes. So stay tuned for that.
Surprises.
It is Halloween after all, and it wouldn't be a trick or treat without a Halloween episode here on Sportswire Radio. But I mean, it very well could be spooky tonight. But we are here with Nicholas Crenson and Shawn Jovi, of course, two pillars of WC in the All Wrestling Matters movement. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice, figuratively and literally, where all wrestling matters here. You know, Shawn Jovi, I know you guys, and including Nicholas Crenson, could have prepared for Tyler Fury, but did you watch any of Mr. McDermott's matches in STBW in order to prepare for him?
He was kind of an unknown faction to me. I mean, honestly, I'm going to be honest. I took him pretty lightly. I didn't watch much of his stuff at all. Sorry, man.
That's
I just didn't.
Like to say that.
Yeah, I know. Usually, I took him kind of lightly, and I think that's how he came so close to beating me. I definitely didn't take him as seriously as I should have, but hell, the kid's
Shawn
decent.
taking somebody lightly, that's a surprise.
You know what? I mean, we've known each other for almost 2.5 years, and to hear that is definitely out of left field. But you know what, Shawn Jovi? I said this in the chat. You have been in there with some legends, certainly in the GVYWN, Rad Hazard. You know, we think about your runs in the IMF. Soldier GP came to WC and wrestled you last year in the famous Super Show you guys had. I mean, you've been in there with Ox McCoy, who was in the chat. You've been in there with Isaiah Rage, Anthony Steele. I mean, you have been in there with Mephisto, a slew of some of the very biggest names and some of the biggest legends of a part of our movement in this generation. But Nolan Money McDermott, I'm going to say it, he gave you, I think, if not maybe even more of a run for your money, quote unquote, than maybe even some of those names you squared off with.
I mean, it's true. I mean, look at him. He's a big guy just like me.
He's quick on his feet. He's got
Hey,
he can
we're both big guys. He knocked me down. Takes a lot to knock a tree like me down, man.
Well, you definitely, we're watching. Go ahead, Nicholas. What do you want to say?
I was going to say, I can't get out of my head. Jane said this to me when we were filming. We both looked at Nolan and we were like, does he remind you? Like, does he kind of looks like somebody? And he said, yeah, Nolan kind of looks like Tim.
He does look like Tim Mecca.
Of course, the legendary Tim Mecca, God rest his soul. Of course, we put him in the
like
he
literally
has a weird. He even carries himself like a young Tim.
Well, I'll tell you who he moves like in the ring a little bit. I mean, I've watched him a little bit because the guys had been in here before for STBW coverage. But he's got a Triple H kind of physique a little bit. He's got a little bit of Triple H physique. He moves in the ring a little bit like him. He's got that, he's not too technical. He's not too much of a brawler. Sort of in in between. He's got kind of that size, that look a little bit in the ring, and that's kind of who he reminds me of a little bit. I don't know if he's a Triple H person who he's influenced, but just watching the match earlier a little while ago and then watching it here on Sportswire, what I kind of see, and obviously another wrestler wrestling in Nikes. No surprise for you, Shawn Jovi. You've definitely been wrestling wrestlers recently with Nikes, but that was a reference for another promotion. But obviously, we're about to see you attempt to do something here, which you sort of connected on.
That Tim Mecca move.
Yep. Well, you did it on a Tim Mecca lookalike, and that ended the match there. And definitely a hard-fought battle, a much-needed win for you. Definitely a much-needed win after everything you've went through these past few months. It had to feel good to get the show off here with a victory.
Felt great, Tom. Especially sorry, I was swallowing my energy drink. My bad.
No, I know it's been a long day because we just watched the show. You had obviously your own Jovi's vlog. I mean, it's been a long, past few hours. It's been that.
It has. It really has.
And to what you've been put through by these gentlemen, and then you go for a handshake, but he ain't having it.
He didn't want any part of it.
How'd that make you feel?
Well, I mean, as a veteran, people would think I would be disrespected, but you know what? At that time, I was saying, well, that kid's got spunk. He spit in my face. This show, he also refused a handshake. Like, he's got spunk, he's got attitude, but I didn't take it as a bad thing because I had the victory anyway. I had one up on the boards for WC. I started out with a bang for us.
You definitely did that here and some, and we'll get to some comments in a few minutes, but I'll wait for the comments because there's an announcement in there. Plus, we will have a surprise, but let me take this off the screen for a minute because I think I want to take this off because I want to ask you gentlemen something here. We were talking about this off the air, and I have to ask it. For those that are listening and watching here in prime time that may not have quite watched the full show, maybe they watched the main event, maybe they just watched the opening match, but what on God's green earth was in that secret stuff that you guys had before the main event? Because at that moment, you guys were definitely put through the ringer. Yeah. I mean, you guys had lost back-to-back matches. I mean, you lost the tag match. Mr. Brightside gets pinned. James Marshall gets pinned by Dalton the Executioner. You guys were in this rough moment. And I have to ask it because it really very well, I don't know if it made the difference, but maybe it did. So what in God's green earth was in that secret stuff?
So the secret stuff is actually inspired by something I saw in a movie as a kid. Now, if you've ever watched Space Jam, I wanted to use this as a motivational tactic. Obviously, it's in a water bottle. What goes in a water bottle? Water. It was obviously water. But that's not the reason why I did that. No, you see, when Space Jam, when the Monstars were destroying the Looney Tunes like a bajillion points to
all the NBA players.
Yep. And that's kind of the situation we were in. So I wanted to lighten the mood. I wanted to get everyone amped. I wanted to make them feel motivated and ready to go. And as a locker room leader, that's my job, to make sure everyone's on their feet and ready to go. So yeah, it was a little psychological tactic to get us all fired up. And hey, it worked. Just like it worked on the Looney Tunes.
Well, some of you guys didn't seem to like it, though, very much.
I think it was because the water was kind of stale. I kind of found that water bottle laying around and just called it secret stuff. Not gonna lie.
You know what?
It was some stale water, I'll tell you that.
Wow. Wait, you said you left it laying around? You sure it wasn't some Racine?
Oh God, I don't want the Racine water. That's nastier than Fox River water in Green Bay, man.
So for the
nothing gets more polluted than that.
All right, so before we do anything else, so I have to ask this question because, ironically enough, believe it or not, in New York, we're considered to actually have had the best water like around. It's supposed to be like super clean and pristine. So I have to ask though, for everybody else, what's with the water then in Racine and elsewhere that may not be as good? Why?
Well, I don't know about Racine, but in Green Bay, we have the Fox River, which is like the most polluted river probably in America.
Oh, I did not know.
Yep, I'm guessing and it's one of two rivers that flow north instead of, I think, south or vice versa. I'm not sure which one it is. but there's only like 2 of them that go that direction, and it's that one and the Nile, which is kind of a cool historic fact about Green Bay is we have one of 2 rivers that flow the opposite direction of a normal river.
Wow. Okay.
But it's also very polluted, full of sick, nasty fish, and maybe some of that glow green if you get them out of the water. I don't know. It's mutated, man.
Best way to explain the reasoning behind a lot of the pollution in the Fox River and Lake Winnebago, which is another thing Don around has, is Wisconsin. We have a lot of paper mills.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty much what does it right there.
Yeah, a lot of the big cities have paper mills. That's where you get, like, if you want good water, you're gonna go to like up north in Wisconsin, areas like Mountain, Surrey, Lakewood, Anago, those areas. Those
closer to Lake Michigan,
or like the Nicolay National Forest, where literally Nicolay spring water comes from there.
And there we see it. There's the secret stuff, the magic secret stuff, and the 4 of you guys are just right now. I mean, unlike you guys, and you're just struggling here trying to figure it out. And Nicholas, you're the first one to drink it. And Nicholas, boy, I mean, you might be once upon a time nonchalant, but maybe you turn into a psycho wolf from there. And there is James Marshall, definitely not catalyst like there. And then, there's, I guess, Craven R. is a Craven R. Michaels now, and he's looking. And
or KRM.
KRM. Wasn't KRM like a pop group or something like that once upon a time? But obviously,
I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, there's a lot of things I wouldn't be surprised of these days. But obviously, he's looking at it, and I think he's thinking about it. But he's like, all right, let me do it. And he does it, and we don't really know what he feels. And then there you have it, Shawn Jovi. And, I can't. I'm sorry. I can't. I just can't. I don't, I just can't, I can't. I can't. But
hey, if you have to be a little loony to amp your coworkers and your teammates up, you gotta do what you gotta do.
But I gotta say this before I bring in a surprise here in about 5 or so minutes. I think this is the first time I've seen you guys kind of, at least maybe since the early beginnings of WC, on screen together and sort of aligned in something. Am I wrong, or am I missing something?
You're absolutely correct.
Yeah, it's like the first time in that, like
all
of us.
You guys have been there from the beginning since 21, but I think, and we've known each other a long time. Mm-hmm. I think that was the first time I've seen all of you almost kind of aligned in the same way, more or less.
Hey, we all had one common goal, and that was to take down STBW.
Because it was your careers that were on the line.
I can't help it. I'm so used to saying it.
Listen, your careers were on the line. They basically talked about you. They talked about you here on this platform. They talked about it on their own channel. They talked about it up and down. And listen, Tyler Fury. You guys work with him in the IMF. He was telling everybody in the locker room there in Palo about what they were going to do to you guys. So you guys basically, your careers were on the line. You guys literally, and the coffin was there. I mean, your careers could have all been in that coffin. It could have been all there. Yeah. Your life was flashing before your own very eyes. No question about it, from what I think.
Yeah, no question there. It was a do or die situation for us.
More or less, yeah. If we didn't win this, we were donezo. Unemployment line.
Listen,
I'd be an IMF for the rest of my days. There'd be no more Wisconsin backyard wrestling.
And you know what? The rest of the roster, who knows what would have happened to Ray Oos? Who knows what would have happened to Dash Andrews? Chaz J? I mean, breaking news. He might not be a champion anymore. I mean, James Marshall's always only waved the flag of WCE. Jonathan Pierce, the executioner, his career would have been finito. All of you high-priced talents in the backyard in the underground wrestling circuit, the 2 of yous, alongside Darkfire and Mr. Brightside, the only place you would have had is IMF. But in the Midwest, in the backyard wrestling circuit in the Midwest, the upper part of the Midwest, it would have been STBW that would have been on top. They would have been, as they would have stated, the future and the present, and it would have been at your expense. That's what would have happened.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm going to take this off the team. I know there's a lot of people in the chat. I want to say hello to you. I'm going to do that in a few minutes. But, gentlemen, I talked about a surprise. There was a surprise because, after all, it is Halloween, right? And this could certainly be a trick or treat, you might want to say. But since we are here on Halloween and we're in prime time, I have to bring on somebody that's definitely got something to say to you guys. And let's just say when he comes on Sportswire Radio, he definitely backs up what he has to say. And boy, does he have something to say to you two gentlemen. And I'm going to go right for the jugular and bring him on right now because he is definitely full of money. He is definitely somebody here to stay. He's no longer the future. He is the present of the backyard wrestling circuit. He is the reigning, defending STBW undisputed champion. And get that name right. It's STBW. It's Nolan. Money, 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 money. I get money. McDermott. The champ is here.
Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for having me on a spotlight like this. Crenson, Jovi, it's good to see you again. We all just witnessed an amazing show, Devil's Playground. Come on, let's give it up for
Let's go for Devil's Playground. What a turnout we had in the chat. We had a lot of people. A lot of people were watching. We had great matches. I mean, just everything. I mean, this was definitely a true treat. And for the wrestling fan, this was no trick. This was the very best treat we got all night long.
It was a treat. I mean, we probably had record viewership for the live premiere. Honestly, that was probably the most we've had. IMF, I don't even think drew those numbers for us.
We were talking about that. I don't think when we had the IMF WC show in September last year, I don't think we had that many on the live. We had like 16 or 17 at one point on the live. It was a big turnout. Other places that were watching.
It was huge. It was huge, and I'm so thankful for the fans who tuned in and watched, the fans that kept the faith with us the whole time. And I'm sure a lot of them wanted to see us left for dead, but hey, we're still here. And we acquired 4 great talents on our roster.
Well, I got Nolan Money McDermott here. First of all, that's their Instagram page. I'm going to put up their YouTube page in a second here. But Nolan Money McDermott, I heard for a half an hour Shawn, Jovi, and Nicholas Crenson give their side of the story. Now I'm giving your side of the story for your brethren in beautiful Kewanee, Illinois.
You know what? Let's get one thing out of the way. First of all, it was a pleasure stepping in the ring with the spotlight with some of the greatest the backyard has ever seen. Right? It was a pleasure having 15 plus watch us do what we do best. It was a pleasure living up to every little word that we have said here on Sportswire. Now, Shawn, me and you, we tore the house down, right? And you see, you got the best of me, right? You got the best of me. I hand it to you. But let's not forget what I did to you in the elimination match. Therefore, as far as I'm concerned, we're 1-1 apiece. And when Tom was talking about you getting a championship opportunity, as far as I can say, is bring it on. Because next season, we're going to have the tiebreaker. We're going to have that third final match, that grudge match between me and you. And we're really going to see who runs the backyard. And the payroll will be my foot going straight up your ass. But today, I will say, I respect you.
Whoa! Wait a minute. Nolan Money McDermott, did you just say, I've known you on Sportswire for about 2 months. Did I just hear you for the first time say that you respect the resident rock star Shawn Jovi? Hell has frozen over.
Oh, whoa. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Shawn, you are still a resident reject in my eyes, and that cat will be coming home with me. That kitty cat will be home with me, but it's okay. It's okay because Shawn...
He's sleeping because he's bored of you talking.
Shawn, you put up a fight. You're hands down the most toughest competitor I've ever faced. And I can't lie. The Bulldog, you had me knocked down. You had me seeing stars. But the one thing is for sure is that next season will be the biggest. And the next season will be, one could say, money.
Money. And everybody's got...
Crenson, we haven't had the honor of facing off yet. We didn't stand toe-to-toe in the elimination match. But as soon as Peyton's done with you, then I'll just move down the roster. And I'll go one by one by one.
Ooh,
I look forward to it.
One by one by one. One by one. STBW is here to stay. STBW is no longer trampoline wrestlers. STBW is no longer young whippersnappers, youth of the backyard. They're the present right now. They're the present of this circuit. And I think the state of the backyard wrestling circuit is pretty healthy right now. Why? Because we saw what STBW did in the Devil's Playground, the backyard brawl. You know what, gentlemen, since you're here, I have a lot of people in the chat. I think it's time to see what the people have to say to you guys and give them an opportunity to say hello. Let's get hello to them. Yep. Zilla would like to say hello to Shawn, Jovi, and Nicholas Crenson.
Hello.
Like to say hello, but Zilla's going to have some more comments, so we'll get to them. Ox McCoy was pretty impressed, by the way. Speaking of people that were impressed, he was very impressed. And Shawn, Jovi, did you like Zilla's comment about the cat?
Yeah, I did. I was the one who heard it. Fozzie appreciated it too, so thank you.
Yes,
Zilla.
I could see that. Fozzie's obviously intertwined in Fozzie's own thoughts. Yes, hello there to Ox McCoy. Peyton, I think, that's a great point. Peyton, to me, was the one that the way he moved in the ring, I mean, he's this guy. I could put him right now in any ring, and I think he's a superstar. I think he was the guy. I'm going to say, I know you guys are all here right now. I know you guys are representing your companies. But I think he was the guy of everybody on that show was the one I think that maybe stole the spotlight.
Yeah, like I said, he was the breakout star of the show. Oh, and I didn't honestly I didn't really know the guy up until that point, but he can really go in the ring. And I was very impressed with his ring work and how he does in the ring. Like, I was surprised. I was genuinely surprised. Just like I was surprised with Nolan. For a guy who's never been a champion in his life, in a ring in his life, and is a big guy, reminds me of a lot of myself when I was your age. I was coming fresh off a trampoline, going into a ring. And, we have a lot of similarities, Nolan, which is what I respect about you, is because I know where you came from. I know how hungry you are of a competitor. Because I was once upon a time, not so long ago, that same person. I just didn't have money as a nickname.
Let me ask you, Nolan, this question. Yeah, go ahead. Jump in, Nolan. I'm going to ask you a question right afterwards. Go ahead, Nolan.
It's not a nickname, Shawn.
Well, you didn't even give me the $5 on the vlog for IMF, so you still owe me $5, buddy.
I should have kicked your ass.
Yeah, I'm going to kick the $5 right out of your ass.
Bring it on next season, pal.
Oh, I can't wait.
Right.
The sparks are flying already. We can't even wait
great.
until the start of the season. April can't get here any faster. We just saw the Devil's Playground, the backyard brawl, but these guys are sniping already. Can you imagine, ladies and gentlemen, what the next 6 months is going to be like? It's going to be, listen, everybody talks about what's going on with the presidential election. Everybody talks about what's going on in wars right now. But between Nolan, Money McDermott, and the resident rock star, Shawn, Jovi, the next 6 months from them, it could be no different than what we saw with the Cold War. It could be no different than any other war, like the Iraq War and what's going on in Ukraine with Putin. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, these guys are going to be sniping like there's no tomorrow the next 6 months, and the only place you can get your information on is this platform. But Nolan, let me ask you though a question, because we're all talking about Peyton. We're all talking about how impressed we were with him. Dalton, obviously, the execution gets a huge victory over James Marshall. You did what you did against Shawn, Jovi, pinning him in the elimination match and also holding your own against him in the opening match. We know that Tyler Fury has had a lot of experience in the ring. He's been in many tag title matches in the IMF. He's been there for a while. Did Tyler Fury give you guys any insight? Because he was the guy that's been in the ring a lot. He's had a lot of matches in a ring. Did he provide you guys anything to help you prepare for this and do as well as you guys did tonight?
I mean, we had a 4-hour drive, and he wouldn't shut the hell up the whole way. So a little bit. Absolutely. He gave us what we needed to know. He said that we needed to prepare, that we could not take these guys lightly, that we could not go in there thinking it's just another trampoline show, because it wasn't. It was totally different. We were on a whole nother playing field. We had a whole nother deck of cards in our hand, and it was a hell of a show. It was a hell of an experience.
Let me ask you this as a follow-up. I know there's more people in the chat. We'll get to them in a second as we're watching the tag match between Ray Oos, Mr. Brightside, and Peyton the Peacemaker, and also Tyler Fury, of course, from the Furious Tees in the IMF, and he's also in the STBW as one of their pillars. But if Tyler Fury didn't have the experience he had in the ring, do you think that would have changed the outcome in any way because of his ring experience and him being around all those guys in the IMF locker room? His tag team partner, Thomas McEntee, is a BYW veteran. He's obviously worked alongside Shawn, Jovi, Nicholas Crenson. He knows them well. So he could have gave you guys a scouting report. He could have helped you guys prepare for that. He knows all those big hitters in the IMF: Omen Black, Soldier GP, Isaiah Rage, Ox McCoy, Justin Parsley, Felix Jones, the Midwest Express, Anthony Steele. I mean, it's a long list of big names. Mephisto, the current champion, Prince Achia, Freddie Daniels. I mean, there's a long list of names. Do you think that if it was where he didn't have that experience, that would it have changed the outcome for you guys in any way?
Absolutely. Honestly, I think I've seen Tyler perform. I've been to a lot of his matches in ring, and see, Tyler has it on lockdown, and he was the one. He was almost in a leader position. He was the one that was getting us in that mindset, getting us in that motivation zone, telling us what we need to know. He told me that I need to fight fire with Shawn. You had to fight fire with Shawn Jovi, and he told me a few things, right? He taught me how to go in that ring. He taught me what to do in that ring. He taught me how to think, how to move, because when you're in the ring, it's a whole nother game. And I can't lie, as much as annoying and Tyler pisses me off, he gave me motivation.
Well, he definitely showed it and some here, and we're watching him in the ring. And just again, these are four great talents here, four of the premier talents in the Midwest backyard wrestling circuit. Ray Oos, who's come a long way, and real quick before I get to the chat, Ray Oos has really come a long way, Nicholas and Shawn Jovi. I mean, last year at this time, or even at the beginning of the year, I mean, if you would have said to me Ray Oos would be an integral part of the backyard brawl, I would have probably said, give me the secret stuff. But he's really come a long way. No, seriously. I mean, listen, there's no joke that's what I would have said, but he's come a long way these last few months. And, how integral was he? And just talk about just how far he's come these last few months.
He's come a long way.
Yeah, he's come a long way. Like, I remember when he would try to do a splash, and you could tell he was very hesitant and very scared of hurting people. But at some point, he got it. He figured it out. Like, we told him, like, dude, just go for broke. Don't worry about hurting anybody. That's the name of the game.
Right. And he impressed me. I mean, it takes a while to find your own groove. Like comparing to me, like when I was young, it took me a while to find my groove. Once you find that groove in your rhythm and you get in the zone,
he looked great. I mean, look, Ray Oos, every time he's out there, he's just come so far. I remember
he's gotten better every match. Every match he's improving.
I couldn't agree more. And I remember the first time he came on Sportswire. This was about almost 2 years ago. And it was like, he had flashes, but it was like he was green, but as green as could be. But now you look at him, he's starting to put it together. You see him go up at the high rent district. You see, how he runs there and just, runs the ring now. And you just see his ability to hang in there with guys like a Tyler Fury. And what he's done here with the whole situation with Chaz J and Culture Shock and, his matches with other guys here, yourself included, Shawn Jovi. Ray Oos has really come a long way. If there's a contender maybe for a most improved wrestler in the backyard in the underground wrestling circuit, I think Ray Oos is going to get a lot of recognition. He's going to get a lot of votes, and he's really come a long way. And I think that speaks volumes. I mean, well, Chaz J speaks for himself. I mean, literally, he speaks for himself. But let me get to some more comments here while we're talking, because I know we want to get to a few things, and the guys have been so appreciative with their time and such. Yes, we're excited and happy for next season. I can't wait for STBW and WC to start. But Liz has got some breaking news here. We're going to take this off the screen for a minute because I want to get to that. Let's go with Liz. It was talked about at the end of the show, but we'll put it up here once again. It's official. STBW is back next year. We're going to work on a deal, and must be some money there that's coming to STBW's way.
See, WCE management, Liz, don't think I forgot how you screwed me in my match putting me against Shawn, Jovi. And also, hold on,
You wanted the match.
We were talking about Chaz J. He couldn't defend his own company. I mean, he's the world champion, and he did his own thing. He went into business for himself.
Oh!
I know what it is. He's just not on par with Nolan Money McDermott.
You know, I got to ask you something on that. You said something real interesting. I'm going to get to the chat. People are starting to work their way into the show. I'll do that in a minute. But you said something interesting. Chaz J, right? He's the WCE champion. He's the guy that's at the top, right? But he didn't seem like he was Team WC at all. All you guys in STBW for months have had problems with each other. But you guys were able to collectively come together as a unit to give WC every single thing you guys possibly could. But yet Chaz J didn't seem like he was so interested in WC. You know, you're the STBW undisputed champion. You're now a part of this company. And I'm going to throw it out there. Now, I don't know what management thinks. I know Liz is here right now. I don't even know if she would have an opinion. I know Shawn Jovi, maybe he wants a match for that championship. That's up to him. That's his call. He's the resident rock star, the resident cat dad. He's the resident vlogger. He's everything else in between in a bag of chips, right? But how about this, Nolan Money McDermott? You know, you're now the president of the backyard circuit. And I want to throw this out there to start the year next year, since you guys are going to be a part of things over in Appleton. What do you think about the idea of title versus title? The STBW champion, Nolan Money McDermott, the WCE undisputed champion, the all-out champion, Chaz J. And, well, let's just say the winner of that match maybe walks away with both those championships. How does that sound, good sir?
You see, when we're talking about money, we're talking about gold, you're speaking my kind of language. You see, the all-out championship, I have shoulders for a reason. Hell, I have a waist. I carry both championships. I'll carry the all-out championship. I'll go to IMF and I'll start collecting their championships. So my language. Bring it
well,
up.
you know what? I know Liz is in the chat right now. I know Liz is watching this right now. I know the rest of the locker room at Appleton is watching this right now. You want money? You want views? You want some engagements on social media? Maybe that's the route we should go. Let's see who really is
Absolutely
the true undisputed champion. Let's see who's the all-out champion. Let's see who's truly the president. You know, I heard during tonight's show that Chaz J might be the undisputed, undoubtedly the guy on top right now. And sure, he's beaten pretty much everybody there is in Appleton and WC. But he hasn't faced a guy like Nolan. I got you. But he hasn't faced a guy like Nolan Money McDermott. Breaking news. Maybe should be some breaking news there. Just saying.
Yeah. Chaz has been really impressive towards the end of the season here. But you said he's beaten almost.
I said
everybody there.
Almost everybody. Almost.
NWC. But when it comes to me, Chaz, you're 0-2.
And you beat him when you were a champion once upon a time. Remember when you were the RCW Underground champion? You finally won a championship. You defended that championship against it. But that was a guy who was a different character. That was a different person. Now he's on a different level. But can he compete with a guy who's money? Can he compete with a guy the size and the stature of Nolan Money McDermott? I don't know. I don't know that answer. But I'd love to find out. I would love to find out. That's what I would like to say.
I think we need to test that theory.
We definitely need. And I tell you what, I want to test that theory to start the season next year. Could you imagine the headlines? Nolan Money McDermott, Chaz J. Sure, Chaz J can run Dash Andrews potentially out of town. Sure, he could beat whatever name is Sinister or Craven R, KRM, Craven R Michaels, and Shawn Jovi even, but he hasn't faced a guy like Nolan Money McDermott. We'll see if he's going to be rolling. Because I'm not sure if he's going to continue to roll on as the all-out WCE champion. So let's see a title versus title. We don't get to see that often in the backyard in the underground wrestling circuit. So let's see what Liz thinks about that. Because I got a lot of people right now in the chat. Let's talk to him. Shawn Jovi, congratulations. Zilla would like to say, though, that I would love to become a trampoline wrestler, and my dream opponent would be Peyton, the Peacemaker. Well, that was the pacemaker, but and the STBW champion star Nolan Money McDermott, because I want to face the best in STBW.
Zilla, you got to be at least the most intelligent person that has ever been in sports. You know what?
No, I would say yes. That you want to say yes. The most intelligent chatter in the chat has been Zilla these past 6 years.
My respect.
Yeah. No question about that. Yeah. Okay, we'll go there. What was his stuff? I don't know. Oh, what was the stuff? Oh, okay. What was I think that was the reference about
the water.
Yeah.
The whole Space Jam.
Thank you, Shawn. You definitely gave Craven Rage Michaels his energy and changed him. Yeah, KRM. Yeah. I really think KRM was like a group, like some like obscure.
I think so too.
I think, and and I gotta say, also
it rings a bell.
In Brooklyn, we have there's a Jewish supermarket called KRM. It's a very well-known supermarket for the religious Jewish in my neck of the woods, who've been some of my supporters, who've helped propel me to not only 1,000, 1,100, 1,200, 1,250 plus subscribers. So KRM Supermarket is a legendary supermarket in Midwood and Borough Park in Brooklyn. We respect STBW. We definitely respect them after what we saw tonight. Want to say hello to my buddy Chronic Gaming. Chronic Gaming is going to be here coming up in the end of November. Chronic Gaming is going to be here on November the 24th for a good reason. Not only is he a big gaming streamer, he's got a huge charity cause he's raising money for and raising alertness for. And we're going to talk about that here right in a few weeks. So I'm looking forward to meeting him. I was on Barry Gutman's stream not too long ago, and I met him there. We're going to have him on Sportswire. We're going to talk about his gaming career. We're going to talk about his own interviews he's done, some of the biggest names in the gaming world. And I'm going to get an opportunity to talk about his cause, what he's doing for the community. I'm going to be supporting that as well. So we'll talk about that. That'll be November 24th, 9 o'clock Eastern time, in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage, where all wrestling matters, maybe all video games matter. But I don't play games. You'll have to enlighten me. Yes, hello to everybody in STBW. WC was almost dead, but thank God for the 4 OGs to save WCE. Well, definitely we'll get to that. Hi to the undisputed STBW champion. A lot of highs to Nolan Money McDermott. Nolan Money McDermott is bringing in the crowd tonight. I have 102 people watching us right now, counting X. We have 90 plus people on X watching us. Thank you to my friend Ernest. Yeah. We have 95 people, 96 people now on X because I have friends in big places. Well, Mr. Money, do you want your money where your mouth is? Because I remember you screaming, I didn't mean it.
I meant every damn word.
Well, let me get to some more comments because there's somebody else, a peer of yours, Nolan Money McDermott, the evil Angel Judas, who's back here next Friday night for another super show, the Backyard Havoc pre-show coverage. And he said he loved the show. And he also said, shout out to you, a fellow non-ring wrestler. And he's very happy with what you did. So you've got the support right now in the community from your peers.
Hell yeah. I appreciate it.
Oh, we'll find out. I think Liz is finding that to be a very interesting idea that I proposed. A very interesting idea. And there is, of course, Judas. And I want to say hello to my buddy, Mr. Barry Gutman. Barry is on Twitch right now. Barry's got a big stream coming up at 11 o'clock Eastern time. And I want to give Barry a nice little plug, if I could, because Barry is on Twitch. And Barry is my wingman sometimes on Sportswire Radio. So I'm going to give Barry a nice little plug on his Twitch before we finish the rest of the show here, because the guys have been so gracious with their time. But there's Barry's Twitch. He's got 426 followers. Check him out there. He's also on YouTube. He's also on a number of different places. He'll be on YouTube at 11 o'clock, and he's playing some different games. Go give him a follow. And thank you, Barry, my man, for your support. Yes, I'm going to get to your YouTube, Barry. Yes, I know. I'm going to put the YouTube up in a minute. Here's Barry's YouTube. Go give him a follow. He's on YouTube. It's a hardcore gaming, right? Hardcore gamer, Barry. I have to find the YouTube. We'll put it up here in a minute. We'll let the guys talk about a few more things. They've been so gracious with their time. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally. We're all wrestling matters. And there's Barry's gaming account. Go give Barry a sub on YouTube. That's his account. He's got his show at 11 o'clock. So if you want to support him, ask him anything, talk about games, talk about why he's not on Sportswire Radio, you can do that there. That's his gaming account. Hit the follow, hit the sub button. Do that. Okay, I know you gentlemen have been so gracious, so we'll put the match on in a second. Yes, Nick, you want to say something, Nicholas?
Yes, Nolan, I honestly think you have one of the best fighting champions against Chaz J, just from seeing you in the ring. So I honestly want to see that match, but I'm going to have to emphasize this to you and to anybody right now, because we cannot forget there is a wild card still in play. It's going to be hanging over us for the next year. And that is a golden ticket that Mr. Brightside holds.
But you know what? WCE guys, STBW, they conquered Mr. Brightside. He was pinned tonight. They're not worried about him.
Yeah, but here's the thing with the golden ticket.
They can anytime, anywhere.
Anytime. You can make it. Nolan could win the WCE All-Out title from Chaz J in a hell of a match. And if Mr. Brightside decided that he wants it, he can just come in, swoop in, and steal it. Heck, he could even just come in when they're in the middle of going for a pin and steal it.
As his theme song would say, that's life, that's life, what people say. But that'll be a question that Nolan Money McDermott is not too worried about, because he wants his match with Chaz J in a champion versus champion match.
Mr. Brightside of all, they busted his ass open, and you think I'm scared of his little clown ass? He can go on and tickle whoever the hell he wants to tickle, but he is not going to come close to me. And when I have both championships raised above my head, I'm going to just have to kick Brightside's face in one more time and send him on to his little mental hospital.
Oh, it's getting ready. Listen, you could feel the tension. So much for these guys shaking hands and getting contracts. Can you imagine what the next 6 months is going to be like between these two companies? They don't like each other, really. Sure. Was there mutual respect? Maybe. Was there some sort of, understanding of who these guys are? Maybe. But they're far from through with each other. So, before I do anything, let me say hello to my buddy, the controversial one, Cato. By the way, from your guys' neck of the woods, of course, the legendary Cato. We've seen him in the All Wrestling Matters Hardcore Tournament. We've seen him in Carnage Cup, IWA Deep South, Resurrection Wrestling. I mean, it's just unbelievable where we see him. So we definitely love Cato. I want to give him a big shout out. He was on the show last week. But, I want to ask you guys this question as we get ready to close the show here soon. But, so what's next for you guys? What is the future between your companies? What is the future between WCE and STBW?
Simple.
The future is bright.
And that's simply put what it is. The future's bright. WCE had a rocky year. I mean, I'm not going to be afraid to admit it. It started rocky, kept getting rocky, but we turned it around. We told everyone we turned it around.
5,600 views we had before Fight or Fight. Unbelievable. 5,600 views. The most viewed show in WCE history.
It was. And that's a good feat to have. I mean, we came back stronger than ever. And I'm proud of the roster. I'm proud of everything that we've accomplished.
Almost hit 1,000 subscribers.
Months.
We're almost there. 813.
Yeah, we
subs.
got like 100 in one day. It was crazy.
I know the feeling.
Yeah, it happened to you too. I saw that.
My community. I had 300 in a day. My community decided it's time to do something for me. It was Christmas came, let's say, like 50 years early. But that's a different show for a different time. But could you imagine, gentlemen, the dream matches we could see between you guys? How about Nolan Money McDermott? I don't know. James Marshall. How about Nicholas Crenson and Tyler Fury? How about Shawn, Jovi, and Dalton the Executioner? How about Jonathan Pierce the Executioner and Dalton the Executioner? What about Tyler Fury and Ray Lewis? How about Peyton and Mr. Brightside? I mean, how about Craven Rage Michaels or Craven KRM against Nolan Money McDermott or Tyler Fury and Shawn Jovi? I mean, there's so many ways. How about Chaz J and Nolan Money McDermott? We want that match. That's the match at the top of everybody's list right now. I mean, there is so many possibilities right now that all you guys have the dream matches that we all could see, because this is not just a one-time deal now. This is something that we could be seeing throughout all next season. I mean, this is a dream come true in many ways.
It is. It's Christmas for the backyard community. It's Christmas for us. It's Christmas for them. This is the holiday that wrestling needs is collaboration shows. I could not stress that enough. You know I haven't stressed that enough over the years, Tom.
Yes.
I am a
true.
sucker for collaboration.
And Stick Rick's
And-
back on Sportswire in I think 2 weeks, so I'm sure we'll hear more
Oh.
about them. Yeah.
Yeah, he's supposed to be releasing the show this week, he said. And
Yes, I spoke to him about that. Yep, and
I'm
you know,
waiting so patiently.
So-
It hurts.
So I'm going to point something out about that cutter. I somehow managed to land on my hand and give myself a chest compression, and that resulted in a lovely sprained rib that wasn't helped by me getting into a car accident a few days later.
Nicholas Crenson, I have a question from Liz. What match would you want? What match?
What match would I want? Honestly, I want Peyton one-on-one.
You do.
I want to put that. I want to see what he can do when we're both at 100%.
So that's
Does
the
that
match
kid-
you want.
Yes, and I don't know. Who knows? We could see it maybe Dead or Alive next season. I just want to put Peyton to the test.
Well, if they have contracts, we could see them anytime, anywhere. And actually, Liz, your wish is your command. Your
Actually,
wish is
you
your
know,
command.
I have a brilliant idea. We talk about Nolan getting an all-out title match.
Mhm.
Why don't we have Peyton run a gauntlet? Let's say the first show he faces me. Next show you got him and James, then him and Shawn, and then finally Craven. And I'm just throwing this out there. It's an idea. If Peyton can make it through those those shows, winning or on a winning edge, why don't we give him an all-out title shot as well?
Well, I think the match I want to see is the all-out champion and the STBW undisputed champion. But Liz wants to know, Shawn Jovi, what would be the match you want?
I mean, I personally don't mind. I'm open to facing anybody. You know that. I wouldn't mind a rematch with Nolan, have the grudge match.
Perfect.
I wouldn't mind it. I mean, Tyler Fury's a kid with talent. I'd like to face him. Dalton, I'm sure I could teach him a thing or two. And I mean, Peyton, that kid's a prodigy out of your federation, Nolan. I mean, I would love to face him too.
Do you want the title? I think that's
Do I want the title?
You want the title?
I mean, at this point, I have a victory over you, Nolan. I think that lines me up potentially for a title shot.
But I mean,
That's
it's
the rule of wrestling, right?
1-1. It's 1-1.
Yeah, but that's a different match. You can't count a 4-on-4 match, Nolan. You just had my number in a 4-on-4 match. 1-on-1, I got you 1-0.
Oh my God, it's already getting tense. We're still 6 months away from the start of the season practically, and these guys are chapping at each other. They're sniping. Can you imagine what the entire winter is going to be like between these two? You could be one stream here, one stream there, this place there, that place there. Nolan, Money McDermott, and Shawn Jovi, boy, they're not done with each other by a long shot. And Nicholas Crenson, he wants Peyton. He wants to put him in a gauntlet. Can you imagine what everybody else wants? Mr. Brightside, that's live. He'll be on Sportswire Radio, I'm sure, soon. And he'll have plenty to say about what just happened at the Devil's Playground, a backyard brawl. That's his life. He'll talk about it. Can you imagine what James Marshall's going to want? Can you imagine what Tyler Fury's going to want? What about Dalton the Executioner? Oh, it just is endless opportunities. But by the way, Liz has granted Shawn Jovi versus Nolan Money McDermott for that title, that STBW Undisputed Championship. She's granted it. Granted it.
Well,
Shawn,
I knew Liz was a good business maker.
Mm.
There's three things in life that are guaranteed: death, taxes, and Nolan Money McDermott sticking his foot up straight up your ass. So you want the title match? Fine by me. Once I beat Dalton's ass and retain the title, it's Shawn Jovi. Hell, I'll beat Nicholas Crenson. I'll beat anybody.
Ooh, I tell you what, it's going to be a long off season, but it's going to come quicker than a New York minute. We've gotten a treat tonight of what's to come. We've gotten a treat tonight of what STBW and WC will be doing in this new partnership, as it was announced at the end of a Devil's Playground, the Backyard Brawl, that STBW now has contracts to be WCE roster members. And WC has plenty of new members on the roster now. Chaz J is back and he's on top. Ray Oos is back. Das Andrews is back. And now we've got Dalton, the Executioner, Tyler Fury. We've got Peyton. And now we've got Nolan Money McDermott, the STBW undisputed champion. They're playing in Appleton, Wisconsin. They're no longer trampoliners. They're guys that are in the ring, and they're the present. They're the present.
What?
They're here to stay. And also, Tyler Fury versus Craven Rage Michaels in a body bag match. Dun, 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 dun. You might end up in a body bag. The loser of this match is going to be in a body bag. Woo! There you go. Boy, can you imagine what these next several months are going to be like, gentlemen? I mean,
It's gonna be a long winter, my dude.
oh, and you're gonna feel those cold nights on Sportswire when nobody's going anywhere. You know, in New York right now it's 80 degrees. Where you are, it's probably warm, but it ain't gonna be warm much longer. And the only place where it's gonna be warm is the heat between the likes of Shawn Jovi and Nolan Money McDermott and Peyton and Nicholas Crenson and Tyler Fury and James Marshall and Craven Rage Michaels and Dark Fire, after all, Ray Oos and Chaz J, certainly, and just everybody that's going to be a part of this now conglomerate, you might want to say. This conglomerate, and who knows who else could be coming? Who knows? Who knows what the future? But before we move on and close the show tonight, there's the page where you can watch the Devil's Playground, the Backyard Brawl. You want to watch it? You got it. All you have to do is go to this page. Go hit that sub button. Go follow. And that's where you're going to see the action. And you know, Liz, I told you the match I want. I want to see champion versus champion. It writes its own story. Who's really on top in the Midwest in the backyard wrestling circuit? Breaking news. Would it be Chaz J? Or would it be Nolan Money McDermott? That's the match that it writes itself. That's the match. Spoiler, it'll happen.
Yeah, let's see if Nolan can get past Jovi, and let's see what Chaz can do at the beginning of the season. And then,
well, Liz seems like
I
she
say,
agrees. Well, Liz
I think
wants
we're going to see that match for sure.
Well, Liz says we are going to see it. We're going to see a lot of these great matches. And the way you can see them, again, WCE, check out their YouTube page. STBW, check out their YouTube page. I'm going to put that up here before we get ready to sign off here. And also, please support these guys. They're on Instagram. They're on TikTok. There's so many ways to support them. I see a lot of people here tonight. A big crowd, a hot crowd. They want this. You got it. STBW's YouTube page. That's where you can go. Hit the sub button. Get these guys to 325, 350, 400, and so on. Definitely support them. They are absolutely now the present. They are no longer trampoline wrestlers. They are no longer youth of the backyard. They are now the present. And they are here to stay. And they're going to be playing in a ring. They're going to be playing in a big sandbox. And they're no longer just small-town backyard wrestlers. They're now permanently in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage, where all wrestling matters. Okay, obviously we've talked a lot tonight, so let's go and give everybody a chance to say a few things about tonight and get to closing thoughts. I'm going to go with you, Nicholas Crenson, first. Is there anything else you want to say about tonight's historic event and anything else that's on your mind, good sir, before we close out tonight's show?
Honestly, that show was one of the most fun experiences I've ever had. And I'm going to say this down everybody in STBW, you, Nolan, Peyton, Tyler, Dalton, you guys brought it. And I am looking forward to next season because, like you said, 3 things are guaranteed: death, taxes, and, well, money. And this right here is all of us getting money.
I get money. Nolan Money McDermott, is there anything else that you want to say about tonight's show before we get to closing thoughts?
I think it was a great show. Stepping out of that car, seeing these people that I've been watching on YouTube for months now. It was a surreal moment. And as you talking about the future, I think the future is bright for all of us. WCE, STBW. I think this is nothing more than a monumental moving point. You see, you are looking at a bright future, a bright next season. And next season of WCE is going to be money, and you're not going to want to miss it.
I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more. And this was definitely an event that lived up to the expectations, and I think even exceeded it. It exceeded expectations, and we see obviously everybody embrace before we get to Shawn, Jovi, and just seeing everybody come out here. Just really, this was special. This was something, we talked about it a few days ago. We had Brandon Costello, the DBW champion. Everybody in his locker room embraced him on winning his world championship. But basically, before I do anything else here, there is one more announcement before I get to you, Shawn, Jovi. Liz has a major announcement, and I'm going to let everybody hear that announcement here first. We're going to go like this. Take this off the screen because Liz has major breaking news. Big announcement. WC will be adding something big. Just say it involves tag team with something rewarded. So, fellas, you'll have until April to find tag partners. Timeout. Did I just hear tag partners and big? And does that imply what I think it implies?
It implies that me and Peyton Peacemaker already.
Oh my God. Mic drop. Mic drop. Mic drop. Could be anybody teaming together because if STBW is a part of WCE, maybe even STBW members could team, as crazy as it sounds, with WCE members.
Good. They're a part of our roster now, so they technically could.
Shawn,
oh my God!
Never
Shawn,
say never, kid.
Me and you, Shawn, we would make a killer team.
Maybe
Rockstar
money.
But we got unfinished business.
Yeah, but think about the rock stars and money. Can't get much better than that, baby.
He's gonna party like a rock star. I'm gonna party like a rock star. We could sing all night, but obviously we're gonna give the link to somebody special here before we sign off. But Mr. Jovi, would you like to say anything else about tonight's show?
I think it was one for the ages, Tom. Like I said, we had record turnout for viewership and for the live premieres. I'm very proud of everything that us boys accomplished, and I am looking forward to next season. I'm looking forward to more competition. I'm looking forward to new rivalries. I'm looking forward to new beginnings, and it's a shame we got to wait about 6 months for that, but hell, when 6 months passes, I'll be ready.
You'll be ready, but you know what? Before we sign off, there is another proposal out there, and I'm going to give that person the opportunity to give you that proposal. Could even be for both of you guys. You might even have, in the nick of time, let's just say, one more potential surprise. So before we sign off, hang on to your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen, because this could get real interesting very quickly. So we might have another proposal for both of you camps and one more surprise before we sign off. It is Halloween after all, gentlemen. It is Halloween after all. And, wait a minute. The Swedish Fish, stay away from those. Because, of course, they are here and it's their platform.
Yeah.
So trick or treat, gentlemen. Happy Halloween. And how are you?
I am the steal the meal Antonio Diamond. That's my Halloween costume.
I wanted to come on here and congratulate all three of you guys and your guys' respected federations for what you guys did at Devil's Playground.
We did it first.
But Soldier just said it. We did it first. So I wanted to just propose something. Next time we do Devil's Playground 2, you can count the foundation on the WCE's end.
Oh!
Ooh.
Oh,
Did you just say WCE's end? I thought you guys were IMF.
See that guy in the corner?
See that guy in the corner, Tom? Jovi.
Wearing that GTS shirt? So under that GTS shirt, it says Foundation.
Ah.
Omen. I've seen what you did at IMF. I've seen all the hardcore
Of course
shit.
you see what we've done.
Devil's Playground, Omen, Devil's Playground. Number 2, I have a reservation. Just me and you. How about you run things in the ring? Me versus Omen Black. I am not.
Listen, kid, you need to learn how to walk before you learn how to run. All right?
That's one show in the ring, brother. You're a trampoliner.
You're trying to run. You ain't learn how to crawl yet. So slow your roll. One day it will happen. But it's going to be on my terms, not on my time.
You're the boogeyman, yet you're scared?
Nobody's scared of your can't grow a mustache or a beard face.
Why don't you ask any of these men on the screen if I'm scared?
No.
No, absolutely not.
I'm gonna say that it is Halloween, Mr. McDermott. I don't think
It's no for me, dog.
Mr. Black. He doesn't seem to be as scary of individual of others. He seems to be the boogeyman. That's what a
Take
boogeyman
those
is.
shades off when you talk to me, boy.
Did he win his match?
Well, he pinned Shawn Jovi though. He did get a pin on Shawn Jovi.
You, Soldier, you're irrelevant. Soldier, you're irrelevant.
Irrelevant. Let's do a history lesson. Obviously, you missed Yards Collide, where this man and Shawn Jovi threw on a banger of a 3 Doors
I
Down
don't
match.
give a shit about Yards Collide.
Obviously, you do, because you're following our coattails of what we did.
What we did. But you guys couldn't get the job done, could you?
And this is why,
It was 2-2, pal.
when
It was
Devil's
2-2,
Playground
pal.
happens again, we will be on the side of WCE. Even though I hate Craven Rage, I hate Craven
How I froze it over? You know what? We've known each other for almost 2 years, and you guys are on the same side as
Just
WCE.
keep him away from me. Jovi, Crenson, keep him away from me.
His name's Nolan, right? Nolan.
Yes, sir. Correct.
So shut your ass up. I don't care.
Nolan. How about
We're off
instead
in
of
the
facing the boogeyman, you want to say I'm irrelevant? So why don't
Yeah.
we face each other? And I'll show you how irrelevant I am. When
You
I
want
put
me?
your ass down, 1, 2, 3.
I thought they were dinosaurs. I'm gonna put your old ass in the stink. You're gonna go to
That's all
bed.
you
I'm
got
gonna
is
put your ass
old.
down
That's
and
all you got is old, right?
Here.
But my old ass does it better than what you can do it at your age.
I'll say this too, Nolan. The man that held your belt before you was his son. He did it 10 times better than what you're doing.
Hey, you're welcome for that belt, actually. Because that belt was
Hold on.
And that did
Talk
bring
about Felix.
SCBW a lot of views, by the way. That
Felix.
gave SCBW a lot of relevancy.
If it wasn't for us,
Felix.
nobody would know who the fuck you are. Let's be
Oh
real.
my God, it's
Nobody would know who
Halloween.
the fuck you are.
By the way, I have a question for IMF from Liz.
No, all I want to hear is a yes or no,
Soldier, you
kid.
shut your ass up.
Next
How about this?
playground.
How about this?
Me
How about
versus
this?
you.
Now, wait a
Me
Let's
minute.
versus
see,
you. And I'll
It's
show you how
getting
to
crazy.
do it.
Oh my God, it's
Me.
Halloween. It's Halloween. Fozzie's come out. Fozzie has come out even. And could IMF be at the next Devil's Playground next year?
What do you
I'm
say,
your
Nolan?
boogeyman.
It's a
I'm
yes
your
or no, brother. Yes or no.
See, he keeps saying me. That's
You're on.
fear right there.
Soldier, you're
That's
on.
he say
Soldier,
fear.
I accept.
Oh my
Anything
God.
goes. Anything goes. Your bitch ass is gonna run for me.
Dude,
I'm scared for you. I'm scared. I'm scared for you, Nolan.
You ever see that Chappelle Show skit when Keeping It Real
Goes
goes
wrong.
bad? Yeah.
And Zilla,
Just
by
went
the way,
bad, son.
Soldier, what did you do to Zilla, by the way? Because now Zilla says she's teaming with Nolan Money McDermott.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's irrelevant.
She's irrelevant. I don't want to see anything with her while I'm on the screen. Take it off.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Don't say
Yeah, it's Omen's show after all.
Soldier, you're a pile of shit, bud. I'm gonna go and take over your company too.
Nolan, you can't lace my boots, brother. and I don't wear boots.
I'm gonna make you my bitch.
See,
Oh my!
I would face you, but I want true competition. And
All right, bro. I'm just hoping that
I'm just hoping the Peacemaker's not busy that day.
You're gonna make me your bitch, right? Well, I'm gonna make you my Bieber, and I'm gonna bring the baby oil.
Oh! Please no freak offs on Sportswire. Please none.
No, did.
No, brother, you just called me your bitch. You're gonna make me your bitch. I'm gonna make you my Bieber, and I'm gonna diddy your ass at playground.
I didn't know
This
Big
is
Man
turning
Cam
into
was
a trick or
on.
treat like we've never seen before on Sportswire.
Time and place, bud.
And there's one more surprise coming. There's one more surprise.
There's more surprises.
There's one more surprise before we sign off.
You could always take the drive that your buddy drives when he comes up to IMF, and I could beat your ass there.
Oh, I was there at Highway to Hell. I seen your bitch ass and your bitch ass.
And you didn't do it. You didn't do anything. You came to Highway to Hell, but
Anthony Steele was on Sportswire 2 weeks ago.
From me,
Is this turning into Anthony Steele? We had him on 2 weeks ago already.
You're just a knockoff.
Wait,
Anthony Steele. That's all you are.
He's coming
You got the
on.
glasses, the hat. All you need is
The real deal. Money.
the point, brother. I want you to realize, though, when that bell rings and you're standing across from me, that's the moment that you're going to realize you fucked up. And I'm going to show you how irrelevant I really am.
But listen here, Nolan. You have plenty of time to find some guys to with you and SCBW. It's not going to mean shit, though. Because you see, you're looking at the greatest tag team that's ever lived in the backyard underground scene.
Yeah, that's a pile of shit.
Oh my goodness!
Pile of shit, kid. You rock a replica belt that's wrapped in duct tape. All right.
Is it really?
That you bought for me.
I did that once.
You're welcome.
And you wrestle in a ring, you throw a couple glass tubes around because you're kinky for it, and you call yourself the boogeyman.
You jump on a trampoline.
Didn't you want to just face me?
I don't need.
I must have been that good that you wanted to challenge me first.
You see,
you're a fan.
Oh, this ain't about
you're a fan.
Soldier GP.
How many times you wrestle in a ring, kid?
Time and place.
Technically twice.
Twice. Okay.
Wait.
Okay, so the whole entire show, this last show, Devil's Playground, did you guys win or did you guys lose?
It was 2-2, pal. And
when it came down to the finals, what happened to the finals?
Elimination match, they lost, but they won a singles match and they won a tag match. So technically, it was 2-2.
So when it came down to it, and you fought your squad versus WCE, WCE whooped that ass.
WC did win.
No offense, boys, but when we came to WCE, I beat Jovi, and Jovi had to join the foundation. When we came to WCE,
best thing that happened to me.
Stick. Put his ass to a table. What did he say when you asked what you remember for? He said, putting my fat ass to a table. That's what James Marshall said. See, we did what you couldn't do. We put them down. We just let them stay open. That's all it is, brother.
Soldier. I'll admit one thing.
You can't do what you couldn't lace our boots even if we tried.
I'll admit one thing, that you are good at what you do. But you said that you put WC away, something that we couldn't do. That's fair. But we beat your boy's ass all over that ring. We mopped the floor with your boy all over that ring. So, Soldier, next time,
he mopped the floor with Jovi.
Be in that ring.
This is certainly turning into a Halloween like no other.
Pick the stipulation, and name the time and place, bitch.
Brother, you can pick the stipulation. I'll just show up and beat that ass and leave. Collect my paycheck.
So, we can't say
okay.
But we have a surprise. There's one more surprise before we sign off. It wouldn't be Halloween without Mr. Brightside. This is live. What people say. Mr. Brightside is live on Sportswire Radio. Oh my God.
What is
that right there? Is the greatest character in all of backyard wrestling, brother.
What is that thing?
Oh, is that the foundation? Oh man, I just met the.
And that boy right there, that's a crazy motherfucker. I watched him do live. Watch him pop off a ladder to the outside.
Oh my God. And he's the golden ticket holder in WCE. He's the man that holds all the cards, some would say.
See, what's funny, Nolan, is we don't need anybody else from WCE. The ones that are on the screen with the two of us will wipe out you and your whole company without blinking an eye.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
So
Tonight
good.
is just turning
Your
into...
whole company, 2 moves from the foundation.
I'll come and
This is a vintage sport. It's vintage Sportzwire all over. Omen and Soldier take it over.
We'll
They
give
hold
you
it for it.
EBK.
Get ready for serves.
1, 2, 3. We'll leave Wisconsin.
Oh,
Nolan, if you think that it's wrong, then you're stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
stupid.
Out of competition for you. How about we recreate Devil's Playground, but let's not wait until Halloween next year. IMF versus STBW. Run it.
Where?
Why not?
See,
You're including WC now. Why not bring WC into the fun?
How about we have
Oh,
STBW
a little
first
three-way
time?
dance. Now we're talking.
Oh,
What are you saying? I didn't hear him.
Right
Oh,
side.
yeah.
three-way dance.
Three-way dance. Me, you, and somebody else. I don't care who.
What'd you
Just
say?
give me, let me at him. I don't.
Right side. Shut the hell up. Get back to your mental hospital. Shut the fuck.
No,
my
God.
Hey,
Don't talk to my favorite clown like that.
yeah, Nolan, stop clowning
Don't be
around.
fucking swearing on my show. This is my goddamn show.
Yeah, you watch your fucking mouth. I'm a Christian. I don't want to hear that shit.
How you doing, President Zaddy? President Zaddy's here. Yes. Mr. Brightside, speak, sir. Good sir. Speak.
No, I want to hear what Nolan's had to say first.
Oh,
What do
okay,
you-
never
what
mind.
was
It's your
your
platform.
proposition?
Okay.
What I have to say, I'll exactly tell you what I have to say. IMF versus STBW versus WCE. Time and place. It don't matter who the hell it is on your squad. It doesn't matter who the hell it is on WCE's squad. We're going to walk in down that aisle. We're going to beat every single one of your asses because the payroll is this. Check the name, bitch. I'm Nolan Money McDermott for a reason. The payroll is my foot going straight up your ass.
Excuse me.
Shut the hell up.
Hold on. Is it me or does he kind of look like the Wish version of Tom Cruise?
Is it you or are you a joker?
I was thinking more of the Wish version of Tim Mecca.
Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, it's getting interesting here on Halloween.
Or Batman.
Go
but
ahead.
Come
Sorry
near
about
me.
that.
You come near me, and I'm going to be your Batman.
We can't do this forever. You can't beat Batman.
Zilla, you can stay on the show, Zilla. You can stay on the show. Soldier's only kidding. But yes, Mr. Brightside, continue.
Everybody always brings up Batman. Why is that? Why? Nolan, you could never be Batman, even though he is a fictional character and I'm very real. But Mr. Money McDermott.
You bring a ticket near me once I beat your boy Chaz J, and we going to have a problem.
Chaz J. You couldn't lace Chaz J's boots. Chaz J is one of
I knew you were mental,
million.
but not mental, pal.
You have no idea how mental I can be.
Yeah, clearly.
Keyboard warrior over here.
Oh, he's a keyboard warrior.
Yeah. Nah.
Right,
Where were you? Where were you, Devil's Playground? I walked around. I saw you standing everywhere I wasn't. Why?
Why? Because I
Why?
didn't put up with whatever you call that thing that is named Mr. Brightside. Anyway, you're just going to be on the list of names. I'm going to beat Chaz J. I'm going to beat Nicholas Crenson. I'm going to beat James Marshall. I'm going to beat Reyes. And then I'll beat your ass.
Well, look on the bright side. You're about as mental as I am.
Liz wants to ask this before we get ready to sign off. And by the way, Omen and Soldier coming on here to end the show. Question WCE IMF and Mr. Nolan Money McDermott, your STBW. Do you boys want to fight? We'll make it happen. What do you guys all say?
Run it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Devil's
You know what?
Playground Part 2.
This is one for the ages. Tonight, this is one I'm going to remember for a long time on Halloween. Mr. Brightside's here. The IMF is coming back to WC to team with WC. And Nolan Money McDermott is going off and going after the world. STBW may be here to stay, ladies and gentlemen, but you know what? It's a big playground now. It's a wide playground now in the Midwest. It involves a web of many players. Familiar faces some, unfamiliar others. players coming back, players coming out. But I'll tell you one thing, ladies and gentlemen. We need, yes, IMF we sent them the link. They're going to come right back on here before we start. We'll get an answer. We're going to try to get an answer from them. Omen's phone died. And Zilla, you can stay on the chat. We definitely want you here. We love you. We appreciate it. We don't want you to leave. But the IMF is here. They are here to end the show, to give us that answer. The foundation is here. And
all right. Hey, we have it. We have it for you. You want to throw out the challenge, you guys versus us, right? Summer Bash.
You're in Iowa.
Because I don't want to brag, but unlike you, we are busy putting on live shows. So I can't add you to a live show because you're not on our level. So Summer Bash.
Done deal, bitch.
Oh my God! Oh my God! It's getting even more.
Nolan, when it's all said and done at Summer Bash, you're going to be the one grabbing my pocket.
And you're going to be my baby bitch.
That's all you got, brother. I'm going to literally turn you into my bitch. I'm going to make you grab my pocket.
You couldn't even control your own.
Don't drop it.
What makes you think you're going to control me?
Boys.
I'm just going to throw out the open challenge. Anyone who's feeling anyone who's feeling up to it at Summer Bash, STBW, or WCE, Omen Black, death match with whoever wants to accept.
Oh, I'll do it for WC. I'll do it for WC.
I'll do double duty.
Let me handle it.
Well, hey, since you ended this year with a 5-on-5, you can bring whoever you want, Nolan, because my team's right. It's me, him. Hey, Jovi, you want to be on the team?
Yeah.
Brightside, you want to be on the team?
Oh, I'll be on the team.
Crenson,
you want to be on the team?
Crenson, I'm sorry for what I
Be
said.
an honor, sir.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to end the show tonight, and this has been one Halloween in ages.
See, you know 6 months in advance. 6 to 7 months in advance already. This is our squad. Bring what you want, bitch.
WCE accepts. Oh my God! Listen, tonight, you might have started with the mutual respect between WC and STBW. That's thrown out the window. It's all out the window now because Mr. Brightside's here, and he's definitely got a lot to say. And who knows what he does? He holds the golden ticket in WC. It's Omen Black's platform, after all. He's back. He's reclaimed it, and it's almost like vintage foundation shows. They've come in here and they've taken names, and they're not going out without a blaze of glory alongside Shawn, Jovi, and who knows whatever else, because it's IMF, WC, STBW, Summer Bash, and we could see death matches. We could see who knows whatever else. And this is, boy, why I can't wait to see what the next 6 months has to offer. Yes. Mr. McDermott, before we go?
Soldier, I got my squad, and I might just have to get your little son to come back and beat your ass once again.
Oh! Pretty sure I whooped his ass the last time I was in the ring with him.
I'll tell you what. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, this is just the tip of the iceberg. I can't wait for the next 6 months.
I'm pretty sure all of you guys are afraid to wrestle me.
Well, I'll tell you what. This is why you got to follow the IMF. Just go follow them on YouTube. Highway to Hell, all of it's up. Ring of Champions, check that out.
Almost 2,500, Tom.
What's that? Yes, sir?
Almost 2,500.
I just you under 2,500. Just about that. We'll put that link up one more time because we did have the YouTube link up here just before. Go hit the sub button there. There it is. We're right there, almost at 2,500. WCE's almost at 850. Go hit the sub button for them. STBW's almost at 325. Just go follow all these companies because I can't wait for the next 6 months. And oh, by the way, WCE guys, you're going to be back here because the IMF guys are going to be here for their next show coming up here in 2 weeks. And
yeah, Nolan, live shows, Nolan.
Well, Anthony Steele's back in 2 weeks. He may be back before then, and we'll have to see whatever else. This was a Halloween.
Come on, Anthony, leave some for me. Let me whoop Omen too.
Well, I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen.
Bro, none of your roster is like your best person couldn't lace up Freddie Daniels' boots.
Oh, I love Freddie Daniels. Oh, he's so good.
Oh, Mr. Brightside said he loves Freddie Daniels.
None of your people can lace Freddie Daniels' boots.
All right,
None of your
ladies and
people.
gentlemen, I think we're
None
out
of your
time.
people can lace
Thank
Jimmy
you,
Payton's boots.
everybody. This
None
was
of your
Nicholas
people can lace Kenny Powers' boots. None of your people can lace up the Midwest Express's boots. None of your people, you ain't ready, buddy. You are not ready for this. And I'm going to show you. Summer Bash, you're going to see why you're not ready.
Nicholas Crenson, the Psycho Wolf, Shawn, Jovi, the resident rock star, the resident cat dad, the resident vlogger, Nolan Money McDermott, Mr. Brightside, that's life, and the Foundation, Omen Black, it's his show, the Hardcore God, and Soldier GP, the Popular Monster. These guys, oh my God, the next 6 months, forget about the presidential election and all that controversy. These guys, the next 6 months, oh, it's going to be like a war like no other.
Read that comment.
That's crazy. He said he gonna get my son.
Nolan, maybe you can hit me up and we can talk about next Summer Bash if you're looking for another person to help. Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen.
No way.
Come on, Tim. Nobody's scared of you either.
Well,
You
thank
go
you,
ahead,
everybody.
Miss Steele.
We are out of time. I'm sure this will be one
Gross.
we're going to talk about for months to come. My name is the Reverend
Real
Tom
squeal.
Price, your voice figuratively and literally. We're all
Hey, Donald, put him to bed.
Right side. Thank you for being here. Nicholas Crenson, Shawn Jovi. Omen, it's your show. Soldier, it's your show. No one it's your show. And happy
what it is.
Halloween. This was a trick or treat like no other. And my name is the
I'll
Reverend
see
Tom
you
Price.
soon, Nolan. See you